No, I refuse to go. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's nothing against Disney in particular. It's any cruise in general.
It felt like it went by faster than a park trip, and it was we were gone for over a week. So
yeah,
that's because you're hanging out with me.
think. What's your preference now that you've done both?
I'd say the.
Welcome, Walt Disney World fans, to another episode of the Notcast, presented by NotClub33.com. Today on the show, we're talking Disney Cruise Line versus, well, not really versus, but versus the Walt Disney World Resort. My name is Steve Rhodes. With me this week, it's Pat Neistat.
What's up?
Becky Wells is with us.
It's a blizzard outside. Good morning. I don't know, man. I got nothing.
When you're Canada adjacent, that's just the normal for you. And Truth. Finally awake from his slumber is Mr. Bobby Burchens, the Disney Cynic.
There's one thing I don't have to fucking worry about ever down here is actually snow. Like, God forbid that we even get a hint at a flurry. I mean, this whole town would fucking shut down.
Yeah, it only snows on Main Street during the Christmas parade, right?
Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, and Disney Springs. So, there you go.
Pretty sure that's fake.
If you're new to our show here on the Notcast, consider hitting that subscribe button if you like the video. If you like it, like the thing. That really helps us out here on the channel. Becky and Pat just got back from a Disney cruise. This was Pat's first time ever on a Disney cruise ship. Was this your first cruise too, Pat?
Yeah. First time.
So
experience ever. Yeah. So, yeah.
So, Pat, we'll start with you then. As a seasoned Disney Parks veteran, somebody that's been to Disney World countless times, your first time on the ship, what did you think? What are some of the key differences? Maybe some pros and cons, just a little tidbit for the viewers out there.
I would say like the biggest difference to me is the stuff that we complain about at Walt Disney World, like sometimes like the cleanliness and just like the service and just that type of thing. On the cruise line, the service is like amazing. Like you want for nothing. Like if you sit down for dinner, you want for nothing. I mean, that was my experience at least. And then the cleanliness of the boat and the ship and your room is just like, I mean, they have people just like one guy's job was he was standing by the elevators most of the time and he was just cleaning the walls and shit.
Yeah.
And everywhere you look, whether it was out on the deck, they were cleaning the fucking deck every day. I mean, it was amazing. They're vacuuming that, the stairs, like things that you would think about, like things that you don't think about that you would be cleaning. They were cleaning. Like I got pictures of guys like cleaning like 8-9 feet up on a wall, like
constant beautification. I could imagine
you could find dust anywhere in that place. I mean,
no,
it was something to behold. I mean, that's the Disney difference, I guess, that everybody talks about, and the cruise line has it.
It harkens back to those days of old in the Disney parks, Walt Disney World, where you'd see anybody. It didn't matter what your job was, but if you walk past a piece of trash and you work there on Disney Resort, you picked it up and you threw it in a trash can. There was no, hey, that's not my job. I'm not the janitor. You could be on your break from the concession stand and walking by it, and you're just throwing it away. That kind of thing. Just we don't get in the parks anymore, and the cruise line has. No. I definitely agree. Yeah.
The service for the food is just like at least my servers were like amazing. Like they engaged my kids the entire time. They engaged us the entire time. They took care of every little thing that they're even wiping crumbs off your table with a little card.
Oh yeah.
You don't get that even at like a higher end restaurant like at Top Topolino's. You don't even get that kind of service.
Yeah.
Wait. You don't get crumbs being snorted together here by a card?
Nobody's snorting anything.
Wrong kind of restaurant.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bread?
I mean, we were in international waters.
Yeah, it just was like those little details that they like.
Yeah.
they do just, you know.
Becky, you were on the same cruise with Pat and his family, with your family, and you've been to several
Yeah.
Disney cruises, and this you've done other cruises as well, right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Carnival.
think?
Yeah.
So not the same standard, and I'm in the same boat. I've done
Yeah.
Disney cruise once, and then several on Carnival. But do you think it's the competition in just the cruise industry in general, because that's what's expected when you're on a cruise, to have that want for nothing type service, the white glove style treatment, that keeps Disney Cruise Line doing that? Or do you think it's something, or is it really a difference with Disney? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I think a little of both. Like, I think there is a level of that they strive to be a cut above not only just the other experiences of Disney in the parks, but definitely strive for a cut above other cruise lines. From what I know of the history of Disney Cruise Line, they have wanted to be a luxury, but aimed toward, like, able to have families or not from the get-go. So they've just never let up on that service. I did cruise when it was still like masking, and that was actually the one that I did concierge, and that was beyond anything that I was almost uncomfortable with, like, having to let people do so much for me. But even like everywhere on the ship, even pre-COVID, like Pat's saying, there's people wiping every handrail, retarring the little, like, grouting between the planks. Like, it's everywhere, and it's all the time, and it's nonstop. And it is just next level. The entertainment is out of this world. It's incredible. And again, it's been a while since I've been on other cruise ships, but honestly, even if it's just adults, I would gladly go back to a Disney cruise, because you can completely ignore the fact that there's kids.
That's the beauty of it. Yes,
you can. I'm just saying, they do a really good job at making sure there's like adult offerings where you can take this, and you can have the Disney smack you in the face, or you can not, and you will still feel like it is next level up. So
I'm going to come back to both of you and ask you what your preference is, DCL or Disney World. But first, let's go to somebody that hasn't been on Disney Cruise, or any cruise for that matter. Bobby, your wife Amanda, who you do a show with, Cynics Gone Disney podcast, drops every Monday. You can see that information on your screen. She's been on Disney cruises before. You, I wouldn't say refuse to go, but you say
I'll go ahead and
not
say
for you.
I refuse to go. Yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's nothing against Disney in particular. It's any cruise in general. Look, everything that I've heard is wonderful. That sounds great. Don't get me wrong. But also, there's just a lot of things that I can't get past personally to get onto one of those ships. I hear a lot about the cruise croup, so to speak, and how everybody comes back just a little bit sick. I have problems with people washing their hands here. Well, God knows I don't want to be trapped on a boat with thousands of other people who just frankly aren't keeping up to my hygienic standards. For another thing, it's that I'm trapped in the middle of the ocean on a boat. I can't escape the situation. There's something to me being able to just bail at any point, even if it's on a vacation, even if it's for an emergency or something like that. If I got a problem, I can't just helicopter off the cruise ship or anything.
Well, if you have enough money, you can. Yeah.
Once you get
anything can be done. Anything can be done with enough money.
Let me go ahead and phrase it. I don't have enough money to helicopter off of a cruise ship.
I would say I had those same concerns you had, Bobby, about like being trapped on the boat and like not nowhere to go. But like surprisingly, there are like spaces that you can go just to get away. You can go back to your room, but they're just, you can get away. Like Becky said, you can get away from the kids. You can like,
yes, but can I check Facebook?
You could, yeah.
Would without spending $100?
I spent $100 for the week
There we go.
because I needed my email
for the
for
whole week.
work, and I thought it was
Yeah.
worth it.
You can check it for free. You do get an allotment on the first day. As long as you sign up on the first day, you do get a small allotment of. It's not very much, but you could check it like 10 times during your whole entire for $0.
Yeah, I can assure you that I'm going to the bathroom more than 10 times on a week-long cruise.
Download some podcasts like the Cynics on Disney podcast and re-listen to your
There you
shows.
go.
That's what you can do.
I mean, I didn't touch Facebook for like almost 10 days, and it was glorious. Like I got back, and I'm like, I still don't want to check it. And then eventually,
Listen, there is something to the appealing to the idea of being disconnected. Also, I think I would have a panic attack being disconnected entirely for that long of a period of time.
It's only on the ship though. It's as soon as you dock, you have services again
Wi-Fi
for free
or-
with your
yeah,
cell
you can-
with the your cell phone. International in the Caribbean is, I think, every major provider is free data. So yeah, you'd be all right.
Okay, fair enough. Okay,
Yeah.
still not alleviating any of these other guttural concerns about getting some sort of mysterious disease that nobody has a cure for.
I'll
yet.
say I didn't come home sick, and nobody in my
Yeah.
family came home
No.
sick. But that's just
I've never
us.
come home sick in 5 or 6 cruises. So
And the other thought I
These
had
things
was,
don't happen to you people; they happen to me.
okay.
so he's paranoid. All right, I get it.
Hell yes, I am.
For me, I think the major difference for me is just being able to relax, because when you're in the parks, you have an agenda of, hey, when the next time I go to the parks, I don't know when it will be, but I know I'm going sometime by the fall. I'm going in September for sure. My agenda is to ride Tron, and I'm going to want to ride 5 or 6 other rides that I want to make sure I get on. When I'm on a cruise ship, especially with Disney, I can disconnect and not have an agenda. We might stop in port, but if I've been to that port before, I don't feel obligated to get off the boat even. I mean, I feel like I can relax, and to your point, Becky, with the adult areas where kids aren't even allowed. So you see people that don't even have children going on Disney cruises because you literally can be separate from kids if you don't want to. There's 2 adult dining rooms on every ship. There's an adult area, that the bar area, that, I mean, you could literally minimize your contact with kids if you wanted to. So it's like, if you do bring the family, you have the nice family dinner and the breakfast and stuff, but during the day, the kids can go to the kids club, and you can just be kind of yourself again as an adult and just not worry about it, because they have great care with the kids clubs, with the teen club, and the older teen club. Like, they have all that stuff for the kids to do, and then separate stuff for the adults. It's just kind of a win-win. So I'll throw it back to you, Pat, now, since you were your first trip. Obviously there's some cost difference involved in the cruise being on the higher end versus the parks in general. What's your preference now that you've done both?
I'd say the parks still.
Yeah.
I think they're in total, there's more stuff to do in the parks. And there's more variety, I guess, in the parks. And I don't know. I mean, I thought the cruise was great, and maybe I'll do one again, but I mean, I like Walt Disney World so much that I bought a timeshare there. So
yeah.
So, yeah.
Speaking
one way to
of,
put
if I may offer an alternate option to the cruise, where you can still get somewhat of the experience that you're talking about. I've never had a poor experience over at Disney's Hilton Head Island Resort. From what I understand, the Vero Beach Resort is also top notch when it comes to the service level and everything like that. Is it a cruise? No. Is it the theme parks? No. But if I'm looking for something there where I want to relax and unwind and disconnect to a degree, but also not feel, claustrophobic as fuck and not feel like I'm about to get some sort of random ass disease, I'm going to go with one of those 2 options and rent some DVC points and try to go to a beach resort. Something along
don't
those
forget
lines
Alani.
instead.
As well.
Yeah.
That's also an option. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No doubt.
Becky, you've done multiple park visits, multiple Disney cruises. What's your preference?
Yeah. Ugh. They're so different. They're so different. And like Pat said, there's so much diversity in your options, especially at Walt Disney World Resort itself, because it's so gigantic. that you can make a whole different trip every single time you go. This cruise itinerary was the first one where I didn't go to Castaway Cay, and that was fine. But so it was a different cruise altogether for the Disney Cruise Lines, and it felt like it went by faster than a parks trip, and it was we were gone for over a week. So
Yeah,
that's because you're hanging out with me.
I think
Time
so
flies when you're having
fast.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I liked the pace that we could keep on the cruise ship, but I think the parks are just their own different set of magic, because you can make it be anything you want and change it up on a whim. Like to Bobby's point, like you can change it if you aren't wanting what you're doing. You could just go to a different area, or try something you haven't tried before. And
I would also say, I think the lesson from this that you guys keep talking about, like the service level and the Disney of old and so on and so forth. The lesson here should be the Disney of old should listen to the Disney Cruise Line and relearn how to do all of those things.
That's the hard part. It's nice to do nothing.
That's what I told my DVC guide. I was like, the people at Walt Disney World need to come here and spend some time here. I mean, you guys are. I mean, he was there, and you spend time here. The management needs to spend time here or something.
The Disney company is capable of doing that again, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the crew works anywhere from 16 to 20 plus hours a day, depending on a day that it is, and then they all have 4, 5, 6 different roles on every single. It's a massive crew, but it's not enough people, and so the fact that they can provide that service day in, day out, and it's seamless, and it's amazing. But it almost it's heartbreaking to know how hard they are working every minute of every day. So it's but conversely, knowing that and not realizing, no one seems angry or run down for the most part. It's rare to encounter.
I met some amazing cast
they've got something going right. Yeah,
definitely.
So
I took my first Disney cruise summer of 2022. I'll say this, that I think I'm in your shoes, Pat. I still prefer the parks. I'm a parks guy through and through. But when it comes down to cruising, my first option is going to be to look at the Disney company for sailing away next time, because it's on another level. It's beat out the other cruises I've taken, and it just gives you that awesome ability to disconnect and also have some adult time. So I'll be looking forward to another Disney cruise. Speaking of the Disney Cruise Line, way back before my first Disney cruise, Becky, myself, Bobby's wife Amanda, and Derek DeBoer from World of DVC, we recorded a whole show about the Disney Cruise Line. It was a great show. The audio got messed up and the cameras were a little bit off. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to link it as an unlisted video down below. You guys can click the link. It's not going to show up on the channel. But if you're watching this video, you get a bonus video. So you guys can watch that. I'm not even going to, I promise you.
Circle back on that.
Yeah. Nice. I'm not editing it, so I'm just posting it as is unlisted video. So enjoy. It's not even in HD because of how I had to use the backup. So yeah. Anyway, it's out there for you. But there we go. Mr. Iger, if you're watching, your company's doing it on the cruise ship. Bring that energy back into the park. Speaking of Mr. Iger, he has been back as CEO for almost 3 months. For 3 months, 3 months now. So that is 1 quarter worth of performance, and we're going to give him his progress report on our next show. So tune in for Mr. Iger's report card. That's coming at you next Friday, 4 p.m. Magic Kingdom time. Until then, consider subscribing, hit that like button, and turn on notifications so you know when we upload videos. For everybody here at Not Club 33, peace out.